Hey, what's up everybody? If you're new here, welcome in. And if you've been here before, welcome back. I'm Rollshambo, connoisseur and collector of all things sharp and shiny. If you've ever felt bad about carrying a knife because of its perceived value, and you just said, meh, screw it, I'm going to carry it anyways, go ahead, tap that subscribe button. Today, we're talking shop on the Microtech Mk7 Cypher, also known as John Wick's Switchblade. Let's take a closer look. Alright, so I'm super excited today because I get to talk about this. This is the Microtech Cypher Mk7. I believe that it is one of the unsung heroes of the Microtech out the front lineup. Out the front is a knife style which causes a lot of controversy. A lot of knife laws are based around switchblades or, knives that deploy with a button. And there's a lot of misconceptions about OTF knives. This is my first overview of an out the front knife that I've done so far. And I've really been kind of holding back, waiting until I found a stride. But it seems like, people on YouTube are picking up my videos. Because of that, I went ahead and I did a giveaway video. Check the link in the corner for that. I'll be announcing the winner and pulling for the winner in a couple days time, about 3 days to be exact. And if you want to get in on that, go ahead and check out the link in the description as well as in the corner. Anyways, so I wanted to hold off on doing an overview of this until I found that I had some traction or some interest in my videos, because this is the crowning jewel of my collection. The Microtech Cypher, if you didn't know, is discontinued. They only made 100 of each colorway and model. This one is serial number 005. It was made in August of 2018. And my birthday is in August, so I found that really fitting. But I bought this about 2 years ago. I found it after it had been discontinued on a website called southernedges.com. Great website, authorized Microtech dealer. And it still says patent pending on this one. I wonder if they ever got the patent for it. Anyways, this design was a collaboration between Anthony Marfione and DC Monroe. I'm not really familiar with the rest of DC Monroe's designs. I don't really see them anywhere, but I can tell you that this one is one of my favorites. Let's talk a little bit about the specs, and then I'll tell you why I think that this is one of the best, if not the best, Microtech design that you can't get anymore. So, first and foremost, we're looking at an M390 blade that is 4 inches long. The cutting edge itself is 3 3/4 inches long, and it's got a blade thickness of about 130 thousandths behind a hollow ground edge. It is a double action OTF, meaning that one button deploys and retracts the blade. It weighs about 4.3 ounces, so it's really close to 1 ounce and an inch on the blade steel. It's just nice. The handle length is about 5 3/4 inches, so just shy of 6 inches long. And if you were to compare this against something like a Ultratech, which I do have an Ultratech right here, the Ultratech, is the handle length on an Ultratech is just fine. It fills up the hand, no problem there. The Cypher more than fills up the hand. And unlike the candy bar style handle of a regular Ultratech, this one is more defined. It's got jimping down here. You really feel locked in on this handle. And it feels solid. It's not a small knife by any stretch. There is a problem, however, and the problem is that because this has a 4-inch blade, And because this has almost a 6-inch handle, when you pull this out, people get nervous. You can tell by the wear and tear that I've carried this. And I stopped carrying it not because I didn't like it, or not because I was afraid of damaging it, but because it makes people nervous. It has a more powerful deployment than an Ultratech. You feel it and you hear it. But unlike a combat Troodon that also has a stronger deployment than an Ultratech, this one feels smooth. It feels classy. This specific one has a two-tone black and OD green colorway with satin accents, which I just think look great. It really lights up the blade, and I have no complaints on that. The only complaint that I do have are these Microtech tri-way screws. Come on, Microtech. Like, you've done such a great job on your knives, and you're going to put these tri-way screws on them because you're afraid that people are going to open it up and break it and then send you, a box of parts to reassemble in their warranty. Microtech does have a lifetime warranty on all of their knives. So if something like the firing mechanism were to break, I could send this in and they would warranty it. I have no doubt that they could verify that this is an actual Microtech and not one of the knockoffs. Back in 2018 when they made this was in their heyday of USA, American Blade, everything USA. And now they've kind of backed off with that now that they've started partnering with Chinese OEM to make some of their knives that they no longer make. I'd be interested to see if they expand that to their OTFs, because so far they've only done that with their out the side blades and their manual folding blades. And they've only done that on a couple models, which I hear that their Chinese OEM has done a great job. Nothing against Chinese manufacturing. I just think it's funny that for the longest time they rode that train of, we're only USA only, support local. And then next thing it's, we want to make these knives and we want to make them affordable. And, they're singing a different tune. Nothing against Microtech for that, by the way. I just think it's funny that everyone likes to get behind a movement, and then, as soon as money's involved, they're singing a different tune. I absolutely love almost everything about this knife. I love the fact that they put the lanyard hole between the handle scales. There's not a hole going through it. And there's not this, glass breaker type deal that you see on the Ultratechs. Like, you don't need a glass breaker for most things. And unlike the Ultratech that has this, fat pocket clip, which, it is what it is. You don't really get other pocket clips for Microtech, Ultratechs, or they're out the front blades. This one has a titanium 3D milled pocket clip that just slides in and out of the pocket really easily. And you can tell because I've taken it in and out of my pocket a lot. I really don't mind the wear that's happened to this knife. These knives were built to be used. It has M390, and Microtech heat treats their M390 to about 60 to 62 is the average. And that's damn good. Say what you want about edge retention not being everything in a knife, but when you have a knife like this that you can't replace anymore, the last thing I want to do is have to sharpen it because they don't make these anymore. They can't just replace the blade. I do strop it from time to time, and stropping it has kept this edge laser sharp. I'll grab a piece of packaging material and I'll show you what I mean. So this is a piece of Amazon packaging. Just to give you an example, this is a piece of material that you would actually use your knife to cut. No, it's not a piece of paper, but not very many people use their knives to cut paper. Check out how laser sharp this is. I just push cut it that. I mean, how much more sharp do you need the knife to be? So the M390 is great because it's going to maintain that edge. So eventually, if I do need to have it sharpened, even if I need to have it sharpened by Microtech, you know, they're not going to need to take material off this knife much, if at all. It's just fantastic. And if I did try to cut paper with it, it would slide right through that too. This knife is responsible for my arms being bald. Every time I check the edge, it shaves hair, no problem. Although I have been told that I need to stop doing that. The wife is not a fan of me shaving my arms with my knives. So I'm moving on to Amazon packaging. Oh, what's that? COVID mask. Will it cut the COVID mask? Yeah, no problem. COVID mask material? I just bumped my mic. Yeah, COVID mask material cannot stand up to this. This knife cuts everything. It's not a problem. It's too bad that they discontinued this because everything about this is just the best. I like the action better than a combat Troodon. It has power, but it feels smooth. I like the blade length. It feels like a verifiable lightsaber. And I love the blade shape. This blade shape, this Wharncliffe blade shape, they don't do that in any of their other knives. You can't get this Wharncliffe, this specific Wharncliffe on any of their other models. I know. If you buy a custom, they make a different type of Warney blade, but that one costs over $1,000, and I have never bought a knife that cost that much. But for this specific one, yeah, it's a bygone of a forgotten era. Back when Microtech was still USA only, and only everything they did was made in the USA. Real quick, just to make sure I've rounded out my bases, here is the Cypher up against the Microtech Ultratech. That Ultratech is no slouch, but it feels like child's play when you compare it to a Cypher. Guys, that's all I got for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, I have no idea why you're still watching. So please put a comment down below and let me know why you're still watching if you didn't like this video. I'll see you guys in the next one.